waiting and listening to me, so I won't also take that for granted. Like Rebecca said, Ephraim Osaga is my name. We started an organization called the AusProfessional Bridge. The key word there is the bridge. Quite a few people do it tough in terms of work. And I'm sure some of us here, even though you may not be the one, you know somebody that is really having a hard time, either getting a job or keeping a job. And we see that often. And haven't had that kind of experience myself because I came into Australia in 2003. I've been in jobs in and out, but I know quite a lot of people are really finding it difficult. Few days ago, I was told of a nuclear physicist working in office works. Now, I know people need to do work and survive, but if that guy is there and not really happy and not fulfilled, then that becomes not too right. So that's the kind of messages or the kind of situation we are trying to, not so much, it's not a revolution, but we're trying to see, could there be something more that could be done in that space? We know the government is trying, Centralink is trying, a lot of the Department of Employment, but you and I will agree that the problem is still there. So AusProfessional Bridge, brought a few guys together to say, okay, what can we do? What can the community do? Rather than wait every time for government to do everything, this is a community-led initiative. Rather than stay there and be negative every time about racism or whatever negative thing, what can we do? What can that petrophysicist or a biologist or an engineer who has 4 degrees pair up with a few other people that have 5 degrees, come together and do something together with some support? So that is where we're coming from. Now, research has shown, ABS, this is the Australian Bureau of Statistics, has shown that watching the time here, the 4 key factors that make people to have that kind of disadvantage are English language, we have qualifications, because sometimes their qualifications do not fit into the Australian curriculum or context. The third one here is networking. You guys know how important network is in Australia. If you don't have the right networks, unfortunately, you may never get that job. And for somebody that have left everything they knew, I remember when I came in 2003, I was a lecturer back in Nigeria. I knew a few people, but immediately I left that whole network and came here, I knew nobody. So I'm in the same conversation with someone that has an uncle, a friend, a neighbor that has always been together here. So something needs to be done to help such a person. And the last one there is, this is big, work experience. Sometimes somebody can have the best experience elsewhere. When they come to Australia, they are told you don't have local experience. How do they get the local experience? So these 4 areas which research, and I'm not quoting in isolation, this is from Australian Bureau of Statistics. So what APB is focused on is working on these 4 areas to say, if we can support people in these areas, then you give them better chance. Now, there are many organizations doing this. I get the question regularly, what is the point of difference? What is new? But the problem is not gone away. But one thing that APB is trying to do is work from the bottom up, grassroots, take people by the hand. It's not enough to have this kind of event and say, okay, what's your name, John? All right, thank you for coming to my event, see my card, bye-bye. APB has an office, would like to talk to people face to face, would like to validate people, would like to help people in the journey. We've actually started, co-sponsored a Toastmaster club recently because communication is a big one. So we're actually getting people involved and connected. So 3 key messages I would like to leave is, in case you know someone, I know I'll also be around for the Nunga class. If you know someone that may need some extra support or you're interested for them to check us out, you can talk to me. I have a few cards here. It may not be for you, but you may know someone. And that's the short message today. We'll try and do this again because I don't think it was well advertised. We think there's a need for it. We think a lot of people are doing it tough. We think the government may not be doing enough, even though they are trying their best.